Back. Welcome to the Sirius Cypher. We are definitely in the house on this day. What is today? Today is a 5 day to 27th. That makes it a 5 day today. And that's all about making some changes and transformation and everything, recognizing, what needs to happen at the end of the day. So 5 energy is definitely some energy that I like to get shit set off with. That's that action, that movement number and everything. I was listening to, I don't know, are y'all hip to Mel Robbins? Y'all ever heard of her?
What's her name?
Mel Robbins. Y'all ever heard of her?
No.
Oh, well, she's this former CIA agent, and I like she does a lot of motivational, inspirational type of conversations on her podcast that she has on YouTube. And she was talking about how that number 555, that's her number that gets her moving and motivated and everything. You know what I'm saying? And when she sees that, she knows that it's time to start making moves and taking action and everything. And so now when I see that 555 or I see 5, I always think about what she was talking about on that whole making moves, taking action and doing the damn thing. So yeah, definitely shout out to her though. Definitely shout out to her on this 5 day and everything. How y'all feeling with this Lionsgate, this new Leo energy? What? Leo season.
and you know that next week, when we're not going to be here, on August 1st, it's the first full moon. There's going to be 2 next month. You know that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so freaking crazy that we're having 2 full moons again. Like, we just had that a while ago. But yeah, on the 1st is the Aquarius full moon. And I don't know, I'm feeling that energy already because there's like a lot of other stuff going on, like with Mercury and Mars and Virgo. And it's also gonna square, I believe, on the 2nd, is it? On August 2nd, so the day after the full moon, Mercury in Virgo is gonna oppose, Saturn in Pisces. So there's gonna be a lot of mental fatigue and like making sure you're meticulous with like all the details, because that Pisces energy is going to try to kind of fog your thinking, So on the real important shit, like you just need to make sure that you're like being really detail orientated and meticulous. But at the same time, if you're excessive to self-criticism, like what we were talking about last week, you consciously have to take a more relaxed approach and to like really be happy where your journey is at this time. And what's crazy is at the same time, after I read that, I was like, oh man, because all day long when you sent me that text too about getting your Molly McCord book,
got it.
Yeah. Right? She's so good. I love her so much.
I love her
so much.
Yeah.
But I listened to one of her old shit. I don't know how it came, Spirit sent it to me because it wasn't even in my library. Like, I went in to go listen to that book for tonight. I was like, you know what? Let me just like see some touch up on astrology with what she's saying. But an old book came up with her, and it was like in that shared Kindle, for free, where you could read it for free. It was so quick and short. It was 2 hours long, but gems. Like, I'm talking gems. Like, it was so beautiful. And it wasn't even astrology. It was just about like the soul's journey and how, we're all rising, like, how we're all ascending.
Yeah.
And she talked about self-judgment. And I had to pause that shit, grab a notebook. I was like, whoa. Like, and she's like, it was like a whole chapter on it. And it was so brilliant because it kind of tied into this right now, that to embrace that we should look at self-judgment from a different angle, that we should actually embrace it because it's like part of like our subconscious that's coming up, that's triggering us, that we need to like release. That it's a lesson, like it no longer serves us. And I have to go over to my notes because she got more specific, but it was such a different tweak on the perspective. Like, yeah, we heard Miss Blue talk about it all the time. Like the self-love is new shadow work. I think the way she said it just like hit a little different.
Oh.
And then she was talking about, I know I'm going on, I'm ready.
No, please, 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 please.
Okay.
This is dope.
Okay. And I'm gonna go get the notes because they're real gems. She
Okay.
was talking about spiritual exfoliation. Yeah,
Mm.
she had a little cute twist to it.
Mm.
And so I was like, and then she said, you know, the things that have worked for her has been, you know, just like the normal stuff that Miss Blue talks about. But then she also incorporated acupuncture to clear your energy, massage, yoga, and then tapping. Have you ever heard of tapping?
Yeah, I got a book on that. TFT. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I used to do it all the time,
Mm.
and then I went into my self judgment because I was just like, "Bitch, why can't you be consistent? Like, why are you so inconsistent? Like, you're so up and down and up and down, like." And I forget these like modalities, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" So before we came on, to make a long story short and wrap it up, I'm in the shower doing the H2O ritual, spinning, tapping, loofah in. I'm gonna pass out. You're gonna find me dead in the shower, okay? I'm gonna be passed out from trying to multitask and doing all this shit. But yeah, tapping was so good. I do feel so good energetically. I used to do it at work. Remember, I told you I worked in the middle of Manhattan. Mm-hmm. I had all the little young waitresses that were seasonal that only worked with us for 2 or 3 months. I'm like, okay, come on, guys. Like, you know, it was chaotic where I worked, like psycho, like nuts. So I would say, come on, let's get in a circle, let's tap. And like we would tap while our drinks were being made and while our food was getting ready. And they're like, Doreen, this was so good. I feel dizzy. It really works. Like,
does it
work?
You know what? I tried to use. I bought that book a long time ago, like I'm thinking like about 2009, right? Yeah. I was trying to use it to quit smoking at the time, and I was doing it, and you know, I don't know, it didn't seem to work for me. So I put that on the shelf and never dealt with it again. Yeah. Go on YouTube. They have so many videos from different people. You might have to find the one that hits with you. Okay. You know, like there are so many things. There's one lady, and I'll remember her name. She's brilliant. She's been doing it since the 70s. She's like a little tree hugging old grandma. Like she's so cute. I love that. And she does this daily ritual one, like you wake up a morning one, an afternoon one. If you drink too much, she has a spot you can hit in your back if you're hungover. Like, you know, she's brilliant. She has so many different videos. I think her kids are even taking over. So you gotta look up. You gotta look it up. Okay. It's so quick. You could just do it. Like I said, I was doing it in the shower. Yeah, but what are you tapping in the shower? So, you know, maybe get out a shot. Okay, so this is the easiest technique, okay? I'm gonna explain it to you. You take your hands and you're gonna karate chop them with the outer side of like where your pinky is. Okay. You know, so pinky to pinky, you're gonna karate chop right there. Okay. And you're gonna say whatever, like you could say, even though, okay, what's going on with you right now? What's an emotion or a situation? How are you feeling right now at this present time? Like, you feel frustrated? Like, you feel angry, anxiety, what? Anxiety. Okay, so, karate chop. And then repeat after me. Okay. Even though I feel tons of anxiety. I feel tons of anxiety. And I'm anxious most of the time. I'm anxious most of the time. I deeply love. And appreciate myself. Even though I might not have it all figured out. I deeply trust and appreciate. That my higher self will guide me. Now take your pointer finger and your middle finger and tap in the tip of your eyebrow, like on the bridge of your nose. Tap right there. Okay. I release anxiety. Now go to the side of your temple, on the other side of your eyebrow, and tap there. With both hands, I release fear. Now go under your eyes and tap under your eyes. I release self-judgment. Now go over your lip
I release self-sabotage.
I release self-sabotage.
Then your chin, I release self-doubt.
I release self-doubt.
Now go to your collarbone and you can use all fingers, your thumbs too.
Okay.
I release
fear.
fear. And now go under your armpits.
Okay.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Now go to the top of your crown and you can go from your forehead all the way back and just keep tapping your crown. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
And you can keep doing that over and over again.
Myself.
Basic points of tapping. That's the basic point. So you start with your emotion that you're feeling, you karate chop, and you say, even though I feel da-da-da-da-da, I deeply love and appreciate myself. And then you start tapping on the points. And you release all the negative fears, and then we could have did another round, but I don't want to waste a lot of people's time, you know, of like embracing all the positive attributes with the same tapping points. And those points will like synergistically clear your energy.
Oh shit, this is so gangster, man.
I'm telling you, girl.
Oh shit.
I'm telling you.
Well, I'm super excited. Yes, let's do this.
So many videos on YouTube for free. You don't gotta buy no book. You don't gotta do any of that. They have them all over the place. And like I said, I will look up that lady, who she is. She's so great. And she has these daily rituals, like morning wake up rituals, like wake up tapping to like start your day, tapping for weight loss, tapping for addictions, and then a nighttime one to sleep better. Like she has a million, so many.
That's gangster. That's gangster. I'm gonna definitely check that out. I'm so glad I'm recording this because I'm definitely going back with this. That's gangster. And I'm gonna definitely look on YouTube and everything and try this while I'm in the shower.
You can watch them do it, and you can watch them if you're not hitting the points correctly, from how I explained it. But it's great. But so that's what it was brilliant, because when she was saying spiritual exfoliation, I was like, why the fuck am I not spiritually exfoliating with tapping? It's so quick.
That is gangster.
So,
that is
gangster. I know it works because I've used it in the most craziest times where we were energetically absorbing the middle of Times Square on New Year's Eve with the ball drop with like thousands, like I don't even know how many people. So you know, and we were clearing ourselves and skipping and like just, you know, riding the cosmic wave, because it could get bumpy as hell. So yeah,
no doubt. Wow. That's gangster. I likes that. I'm gonna give this a shot again. I remember that because that's why I put that on the shot. I tried it, but you know what? I didn't really give it that much commitment. I tried it for one cool week and did, you know, and didn't feel like it was really helping me that much. You know, I don't know. I guess I thought I was supposed to get miraculous results where I was supposed to just take that pack of cigarettes and chuck it in the damn thing and walk the hell away. Whatever. So
I know, I'm like, why it didn't fucking work the first time? What do you mean?
Right. I'm real live magical thinker right here. So, you know, borderline in delusion sometimes. So yeah. Real live. Oh man. So
our 7 to 12
house. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what the hell that is. Wow. You know, I was sitting up here looking at this 9 energy that's going on for today, and it was a lady, shout out, I couldn't remember. I'm sitting up here trying to search my mind for her name, but she gave me this card. She started breaking this science down to me about the number 9. Now I remember years ago this dude that was in this group called the Nuwapians was breaking all of that science of the number 9 down, and how when you add it up it goes back into itself and all of that. When you add it and multiply it and everything, it goes back to itself. And she gave me this thing and it said the powers of 9 ether are the sum of the total numbers. There are no number higher than 9. 9 ether is the combo of all existing gases of nature. Thus, the all is in all. Therefore, 9 ether is the most potent power in the universes. 9 to the ninth power of 9. 9 is symbolic of heaven, creation, and birth. 9 is the number whose square root is 3. A number which is symbolic of 3 dimensions. Hika, abode of the mortal, Sia, abode of Elohim, Huni, abode of the Most High. 9 ether is placed in the follicle of hair, and all woolly nappy-haired people produces the 9 symbol. The number 9 is the highest number in the universe, making 9 ether beings infinite immortals. So shout out to that girl. I thought that was so gangster. She gave that to me and it just put me on this 9 tailspin when she started talking about how there's 999 million galaxies and all of those worlds, and that, you know what I'm saying? It just took me on this tailspin. But I told her, I said, you know what, I'm gonna definitely share that. So I made sure I did that. Shout out to that sister for that piece of information right there. So
I love it.
I love that. The number 9 is a gangster ass number. It's that number of completion and attainment. You know what I'm saying? This is the number when you're on that life path of 9, especially, like, you're called to come in here and show a different type of leadership, one that shows integrity, one that demonstrates wisdom. You know, that number 9, they're coming, those energies on those 9 vibrations, even born on those days, like the 9, the 18th, the 27th, whatever in the hell else I'm missing, the 9th, you know, whatever other day that I'm missing that adds itself up to 9, you know, those individuals, you know, they come here to do the damn thing, you know, at the end of the day. So they definitely here to lead and show, you know, a certain level of how things is, well, I hate that word, supposed to be done, how things can be done if we do it in the highest vibration. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. But anyway, let's talk about these charts. So I was waiting around to see if the lady, because she did accept the invitation, I saw that that wanted us to take a look at her. Oh, okay, awesome. I'm sorry, I can't see. All right, well, let me.
Oh, that's right, you can't see. Yeah, she's here.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I see her.
Kristen, if you want to just unmute yourself, that's how you can come up and talk to us. Just hit the button. There you go.
Right on.
Oh my goodness, I haven't been on Clubhouse in a while and I was looking for the hand.
I know.
Me too.
I'm excited to be here and to connect with you both.
That is so awesome. Good to have you here. Good to have you. All right, we finally get to connect, man. Let's take a look see at this chart here. So Doreen, did you want to go ahead and speak on what you're seeing first, and you know, we go from there?
Yep, sure. Okay. So, as you know, you're having your Saturn return. And let me ask you a question. How do you, like, what area do you, like, feel like you're struggling with? Like, is it career, love life? Like, what do you want us to look at, like, specifically? What I will say right off the bat is that, you know, you have a lot of Sagittarius going on, right? Because your rising and your sun sign is Sagittarius, right? Because your sun is in the first house. So what that means to me, you know, and then also your true zodiac is a Cancer, right? So, you know, you see the bigger picture. Like, you have Jupiter as your ruling planet. Like, that's who your ruling planet is. And Jupiter, what a great planet to have as your ruling planet. He's the planet of luck. He's the planet of abundance. He's like the jolly, like, you know, Santa Claus that just, like, just gives you prosperity and abundance and expansion. And you have that throughout every single like house.
Mhm.
So yes, you might be feeling like certain obstacles, but know that he's right by your side, you know? And it's not like you have Saturn sitting there. No, I'm sorry for any Capricorn rising, but you know, is a bitch, okay?
Yeah.
No disrespect, Saturn, okay? No disrespect, but you are a tough motherfucker. So you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got jolly Jupiter, right? You just got the jolly guy. So, and I can see it in you. Isn't it? Can you see? Like, she's so pleasant. Like, I remember you from class. I remember, like, you were so gracious and grateful and humble. And I'm like, she's so cute. Like, you know, thank you. Yes, you're just jolly. You have a pleasant demeanor. So just know that, listen, I know that shit might get tough and we all go through stuff, but you got a really great planet as your ruling planet. That's what I will say. Another thing I will say is, since your moon is in Virgo, stop analyzing your emotions. Like, I want you to feel your emotions. Like, I really don't want you to take this analytical perspective on it, because that's what Virgos tend to do. So even if it's uncomfortable, you know, even if it, like, you have to feel the uncomfortableness. That's what she was saying to Shakesha in the book. Like, to really sit with those uncomfortable feelings and self-judgments almost, because it's showing you where your soul needs to grow. It's showing you what your soul doesn't need anymore, and to release it and to be gentle on ourselves, because we're doing the best we can. Like, we're at that place in our life, in our soul journey, in our ascension, where we need to be. There's no perfect place. Like, we have this false idea of perfection and like what it should be based on unconscious like conditioning by society, our parents, whatever. Everybody's journey is imperfectly perfect. Like, there should be no comparison. So be careful of perfectionism, because you also have Chiron in Virgo. And it's the wounds of perfectionism. Like, don't put yourself or other people to these perfect standards, because nothing is perfect. Well, the way we believe perfect to be. Right. We have to embrace all of the imperfect qualities of ourselves, the shadow side, however you want to see it, because that's why we came here. We came here to like experience all of the emotions, all of them, like anger, fear, like all of them, but then be able to have discernment and know like which ones we're supposed to hold on to, which ones we're supposed to like, you know, release or use tools to navigate properly. But don't judge yourself on them, you know, and don't analyze them. So that's what I see, you know, with that being Chiron and your moon together in Virgo, in the 10th house. So maybe it's with career, you know, have you set these standards on yourself with career, you know, where if it's not the perfect job or the perfect, you know, I don't know what's going on with you career-wise, but maybe, you know, you won't be able to figure it out as far as trying to analyze the situation. Maybe you just have to sit back, like we were talking about last week, you weren't here though, and dive into that feminine energy of receiving, you know, and maybe it's something that you don't even have, like there's endless possibilities that the universe can give you to answer that. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I making sense at all, or am I rambling? I'm in a rambling mood right now. I don't know why. I apologize.
You're not rambling. No, you're making sense.
Yeah, it makes so much sense, and everything that you're saying, I'm like soaking it all in. Because when you're talking about like the perfectionist and having that wound, I like finally came to the realization in 2020 that I'm a perfectionist, and then I see how it shows up when it comes to like my career, which I feel like it's always holding me back. I really want to step into life coaching, and then I'm always like in my own way, like I stop myself, I'm overthinking everything, and then I just like never have any forward movement. And so everything that you're saying makes complete sense.
Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a Virgo sun, so I understand exactly about that. I wouldn't even give readings, and Priestess Jasmine had to beat me one day, and she was like, "You are ready, for fuck's sake! Like, what are you doing?" I was like, "No, I gotta read one more book. I gotta take one more class. I gotta study this one." And I got. She's like, "Okay, crazy, go and do it, because you'll never be ready. Because your idea of perfectionism is so out of control. Like, you'll never be ready. So you just gotta jump in, and that's what I did. Like, I just jumped in, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm jumping in." And it has been so helpful to just to shed that, because it's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. It really is. It's so exhausting. The standards we put on ourselves. It's so unrealistic. And we would never do that to somebody else. That's the sad part. Like, everybody else is cheerleaders. We're like, yeah, do it, go. And like, for us, we're like, no, you can't. Like, and it is just not what our soul needs. So please release that. Try to release that. Do some, energetic, spiritual exfoliation, because you gotta really, release all of that. All right, I'm gonna keep looking, but Keisha, what do you think?
Okay. So you definitely hit on a lot of the points that I was looking at. Where I'm looking at that moon, of course, I had to hit that Virgo moon energy, because there is a lot going on right in there, right? So some of the things that really help individuals that have that Virgo moon energy, especially like where it's at for you, is based around like that whole discipline, that whole things about what needs to happen and all of that. One of the things that's going to always help you will be your rituals, like your process, like structure, planning your day and all of that. Now, you may be one of those people, because of the way that your chart is situated, it already does this, right? But those are the things that's going to always get you in that place where you're analyzing yourself, and you're thinking about, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and overthinking those things. You can find solace in that structure. So when you're doing the things that you need to do, all of the things that you need to do, you have your list of things that need to absolutely happen. The process that's going to help you get whatever goal it is that you got going on. This is going to be your saving grace that's going to help you to stay in that grounded place, so that you're not sitting around thinking about, I need to do this needs to happen, this and that and the other. The other thing that I also noticed too, with this light code that you got with your the birth time that you have. And so this birth time, and I want to make sure I'm checking in, making sure that I got this right, is 8:25 a.m.
Yes.
Okay. So 8:25 a.m. is a powerful time. This is the code that spirit is trying to send to you, is making sure that you recognize that your opportunity and your success is through raising your consciousness. That can be done by being open and receptive, making sure that you keep yourself in a balanced place. So this is why I go back and talking about the structure and the planning and everything, and really beginning to take action on those things that you want to see happen. See, what I'm noticing in your chart right now is that in your 5th house, you got Chiron that's transiting. Now, your Chiron is traditionally in Virgo, and that's all around like getting shit right, making sure that I got things the way my house is in order, structure, perfection, overthinking shit and everything. That's a lot of the wounds that comes along with Chiron being in Virgo. Right now, this transit is going through your 5th house, which is messing with your ability to be creative just a little bit. But what this whole activation that started to go on with this node shift and everything, it's kind of working with us to help and supporting us and working those things out so that we can move forward towards those goals that we're planning. So now with this Chiron being in Aries, it's transit in your 5th house. This is all about you, like you were just talking about how you wanted to look for a different, you know what I'm saying, maybe expand on employment or something like that, because you got a lot of 10th house action that's going on. And you also, you know, that's where that Chiron is at too now. You know what I'm saying? And see how where you got the Chiron and the moon right there, that right there, what's going on, it looks like from my perspective. Now you probably can really speak to and hone in how the energy really shows itself up for you. But what it looks like is that there could be a bit of a challenge with that there. So that's one of the things that I want to encourage you, is to really start going ahead and moving forward and tapping into that creativity and everything. Oh yeah, yes, please, jump.
All right, so this is, I looked up the Chiron in the 10th house.
Ooh.
I didn't know what that meant.
Okay.
It was very interesting when I looked it up. So what it is a strong desire to prove your self-worth. Your need for status can be obsessive. Try to accept yourself as you are. Now, when I heard self-worth, what did I do? I went to your 2nd house, because that's where you value, what you value, and your self-worth and your self-love. And guess what I found in your 2nd house? I found Neptune and I found Uranus. And I found that it's ruled by our friend Capricorn. Okay, so bottom line is, you've had a restriction or a delusion on what your power is, because Uranus stands for what you know for sure, where your power is. But because you have Neptune with it and it's conjoins, because the degrees are only 2 degrees apart, those energies are merging. So basically what's happening is you have a restrictive merging of how you value things in this kind of back and forth non-reality with illusions, with like rose-colored glasses on, like it just changes. And is that coming out clear? Because like I don't think I said that clear enough. Like you really need to stand your ground on what you value. Number one, know that material things are not really that valuable. Self-worth is what's valuable. How you value relationships, like how you value just the daily routines. Like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have this, set, there goes the perfectionism. Like you have this idea of like what it should be and what it should look like, what your house should look like, or it doesn't have to be all that. And I think there's been this type of confusion because of Neptune being there. And then also, here we go, I had to go now to your 12th house because, okay, that's where Neptune rules. And if you have planets there, like me and Shakesha were just talking about earlier, we have our suns there. So we understand, girl. I have a stellium there too. I have 3 planets there. I get it. I live in fantasy world a lot of the time.
Okay.
Gotta pull the bitch back.
Right. Absolutely.
Here's the thing. You have a lot of stuff there. Your Mercury is there. Okay? And it's in Scorpio. So it's like a conundrum almost. Because, all right, how do I say this? Scorpio doesn't like surface shit, right? They like to go deeper, right? They don't like small talk. They want to get to know somebody. They want to know what's your demons, where was your childhood trauma? Like, they want to go right in. But you have it in Neptune. I mean, you have it in the 12th house. So it's like, right? So there's like this, like the way you think can be it kind of can be a little, going back and forth. Like I was saying before, like, do you live in, fairy tale land, or are you awake, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that in a negative way, because I'm speaking from it,
Right. Right.
experience.
Preaching to the choir.
Or, are you living in your parallel lives? Like, there's a lot to be said with planets in the 12th house.
Mhm.
So it's a beautiful thing, because I think we're the healers, and I think we tap into spirituality, and I think we could tap into those other realms. So especially that you want to be a life coach, it's a beautiful thing. But at the same time, you have to make sure you're discerning, like, what you value, what you think, what you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you feel about something? How do you think about it? How do you communicate it? And your Jupiter's there too. You're also your Pluto. So there's going to be a lot of death and rebirths on how you think, on how you expand,
Right.
on how you grow.
Right.
And it might be in this very deep way, because Scorpio rules it. So in a very maybe secretive, like there could be secrets that are unraveled, like, help, Shakesha. Help me right now.
I was letting you go in. I am so sorry, because see here where I was going, and I'm definitely, because I do remember looking at that and seeing exactly what you're talking about on that. I was getting a load when you were going in on that. I was getting a load on this Venus being in Scorpio here. You know what I'm saying? And where it's situated at, right? So her Venus on her natal chart right here is in Scorpio. We got it in Leo right now. So that's two fixed energies we talking about with this retrograde coming up. You heard? So, so this is going to be, this is definitely going to impact you in a very special way. Now, this could definitely activate, a lot of sexual energy, but it can also activate a whole lot of other things. It's all depending on where the vibration is. So this whole realm, we talking about being in Scorpio, and especially where it's positioned at. It's positioned at, okay, let me see where on your chart. I'm looking on your chart. I don't know. I'm looking at it. It's a Taurus degree. So I'm trying to see where I see it at on her chart. I'm looking I'm looking at her Venus right here. It's at Mercury. I mean, it's at 2 degrees, but I don't see it in the house. But anyway, let me move on with that. But anyway, so what that looks like to me, and what that translates to me, is somebody who is definitely intrigued by beauty, right? The Venus in Scorpio, I used to think that this was what I used to call hoe placement. That's not hoe placement. Let me let y'all know, it is absolutely not. This is a deeper type of sexual energy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just, I like what I see. I'm down for whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother placement I was reading up on. I'm gonna leave that right there and deal with that after I got more information. However, this Venus and Scorpio placement here, this is.
You better tell us who was the other. Don't do that.
Okay. Venus and fire signs had potential to have a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, so just know that. But then also this Venus and Scorpio energy, it can be intense. It can be some most gangster sexual energy and everything. But this particular one is kind of linked to the values, the Taurus, the whole Taurus pantheon. So this is that respecter of beauty energy, right? The ones that's like more attracted to like star power and everything. And there could also, within that realm of it being in Scorpio, like there being a lot of insecurities or jealousies that's like connected to shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And so, that Mars and Venus placement is kind of complex, and it's a little on the deep side. Sometimes it looks like it can translate itself as, having a spouse that is rich. You know what I'm saying? It can translate, it can show up in a whole different ways. And my mind is like moving 1,000 miles a minute. But the reason why I'm saying that to you in particular is because you got Jupiter as your ruling planet. Whatever Jupiter touches, it expands. It is big bossing energy. This is expansion, this is growth, this is abundance, and it's taking everything and it's multiplying it times 10. So when I saw that particular energy with this retrograde that we in, this is definitely a time for you to really make sure that you're keeping yourself in the highest vibration, staying hydrated too, because people that got like water energies in certain planets, especially when they're retrograde, definitely need to make sure their water game is on point so that they don't find themselves in imbalances and start responding to shit in ways that won't serve you. There's a lot of potential for that happening when we got these planets that's lined up the way that it is. Also, you got your Mars energy. It's in Leo. The Mars energy being in Leo at this Aries degrees is also showing that there's some potential for, there could be volatility, or there could show up and be like star power energy. If you tap into this energy and be in the highest vibration, this can really help you like activate your star player. You got Mars that's in Leo, that's in retrograde right now, right? The Leo and Venus is in retrograde, but your Leo placement is in Mars. So this is going to bring a different type of energy for you. And hold up. Yeah, I'm looking at some other stuff. Go ahead, please do.
Okay, so another thing I want to tell you too about that second house, because Pluto now is in retrograde. And it's in your second house. So it's transiting in your second house. So what it's asking you to do is to finally sum up, like to get closure, to get that final like death of things that no longer serve you, that you no longer value, because now you're also incorporating the Saturn return. So what don't you value anymore from when you were a child? Or who? Relationships, whatever it may be. It's asking you to finally kill them off so that you can have this new rebirth, this beautiful new rebirth of what you value. And it's going to transit into your third house, because once you figure out, I got it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Once you figure out who you are, how you value yourself, then you're going to be able to communicate it to the world. Be that friggin' life coach that you want to be, because it's moving. Pluto is going to stay in your third house of the way you think and communicate for 20 years. That's where it's going to stay. So once you get grounded in who you are, self-love, how you value yourself, and I'm going to tie in your Saturn with that as well, you are going to be able to flourish and communicate that to the world and make a business off of it and help others, because you can tell them, look, I was right there with you. I used to have paralysis of however that goes, analysis of paralysis. And I could judge myself when I was in my perfectionism, but then I did this, and this is how you can do it too, and whatever else you want to use to help them. And then to tie it all together, your Saturn and your transiting Saturn being in the fourth house. What is the fourth house? The fourth house is our grounding house. How we feel nurtured, how we feel safe and secure. It's the house of mother. It's the Cancer house. It's the house of the nuclear family. It's where you might want, it's how you envision what your home should be like, what it should feel like. But having Saturn there ruling with Pisces, again, here comes the delusion. Like, I don't think you ever had a safe feeling of, or like a sure feeling of security. Like, was there this kind of, confusion on it? Like, I don't know, like that would be you to look at, like from early childhood. Was there this unstableness or restrictiveness, more like not unstable, restrictive? Was it a restrictive thing where the Saturn's the restrictor, right? Saturn likes to come in and test us and almost give us like conditional love, in a weird way. Like, if you're doing this, then we're going to reward you. But if not, we're going to punish the hell out of you, So yes, it's good in the long run because it helps us grow and learn, but it can be a little harsh. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering, like what happened and how you've grown from it, because you have the potential to really expand. You have so many water's your element, right? And Miss Blue, what does she say? Water holds all the knowledge. Water holds all the intuitive knowledge. So you have the potential to expand and share that knowledge with so many people. So I think it's beautiful what you want to do. I think your chart also screams that you're set up for that. But you first have to get straight with how you value and love yourself. That's the first thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I want to get in here and let you know, like, some of the things is really going to work for you, because like I was telling you, like, making sure you get that water in you is definitely going to help keep you balanced out. But your superpower, your G card, your gangster is fire. So if you really want to make things manifest, you really want things to happen for you, the element that you want to use is going to be fire. The fire is going to be your sure shot, because you have a Sagittarius sun, you have a ruler of Jupiter, and you will be able to definitely take that fire energy. It expands on whatever you do, and make it do what it do. The other thing I wanted you to take to also take note of too is I'm looking at this Lilith that you got here and how it's connected to your Mercury. I think that Doreen might have said something similar to that, but I wasn't really all the way in that, on that frequency at that particular point looking at the chart. However, I'm looking at how your communication and your Lilith is. What Lilith placements is about those things that you want to do, those things, those secret desires, the things, these gifts that may be in you that you ain't accessing yet, or things that you always wanted to make happen for yourself, but never really felt that you could do it or didn't have that confidence in doing that. That is positioned in Taurus. That's in the area of values. So you talking about like wanting to be that life coach, wanting to make a major change on that and everything. Like, the energy is definitely supporting you in that, because the way that it shows up here on your Lilith chart, it shows that it's in its last degrees, which means you came to this planet this time around to make that shit happen for yourself. So this is definitely a time for you to start laying down the foundation, the groundwork, to start making all of these things happen for yourself. Also, I'm seeing placement that's getting activated. You got this Scorpio node that's at 13 degrees. So 13 degrees is also an Aries degree. And now here's the thing. I like that because, see, with that right there, we already know that Scorpio and Aries is both ruled by the same planet of Mars. Now, we also know about, Pluto and everything with Scorpio too, but it also works with that Mars energy as well. And so this is giving you an extra boost with it being at 13 degrees, being at this Aries activation degree. You got it sitting there. But see, what this tells me is like, this is like where you are here to be like a teacher, a spiritual master, an occult, one of those individuals that gets involved in teaching occult sciences, but maybe in a more unconventional way, because this 13, this is that divine feminine energy, right? So this means like taking a spin on it. So you might take, let's say, this astrology information or numerology information or any of the stuff that we get in Self-Invested or any of those workshops that teach us like occult knowledge, right? And you take that information that you got and you apply it within the work that you're doing out there in the streets. And you don't necessarily got to advertise it as that, but being that creative and being that innovative is what's going to help to propel you in that. And this is where it's showing that your energy is supporting you on this particular thing. And it's time for you to go ahead and do some things that other folks ain't doing. See, this Chiron that's transiting your 5th house right here is telling you it's time to go for yours. Dreams really do come true. You can definitely make this happen for yourself. The energy is certainly supporting you. Absolutely. You got Jupiter as your ruler. It's a wrap. And God help the jackass that goes against you. God help the jacket. I know, and I keep getting the glyphs mixed up with the moon and everything. That's that Virgo moon. But yeah, I don't know why I keep thinking that Scorpio moon, but that Mercury and that Venus energy, you know, that Mercury and Venus energy right about now. Whoa, woo, yay. Yeah. Definitely.
So much Scorpio. She has so much Scorpio.
Absolutely. And that's a powerful and she's part of that revolution generation too. Yeah. That Pluto and Scorpio generation. Y'all came here to change the world. Yes. Right. Yeah. Y'all go expose the foolishness and the fuckery out here. You know, all the stuff that we punked out on. Y'all get to do it. Yeah. So, right. So y'all got us though. We getting y'all. So yeah. So I'm very excited and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any questions?
Yes, do you? Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm so speechless. Like I feel like I had so much to say and everything was coming up, and I'm just like, wow, because I feel like everything that you all shared resonated so much with me. And I just feel like it's things that I can feel intuitively, but I just don't like fully understand it, because I feel like I do go back and forth with my thoughts, and I'm like being a little delusional and all these things. And I'm always like, okay, like literally yesterday I was thinking to myself, I was like, why do I feel like I'm blocked? I feel like I can't be creative. And then the first thing that came to my mind was like, I just got to get my house in order. And so I believe it was Shakesha, you had shared something about like when I want to be creative, I feel like I need to have structure first. And so everything that you were saying was just confirmation, and it just feels so good to feel like, okay, things are working out for me. I just have to really put my mind to it, get structure, and just getting all this insight too, because astrology, like the houses and all these things, it's definitely a foreign language to me. So I definitely appreciate you all just sharing all this stuff. I just had two questions. I wanted to ask if you all can share anything about like my love life. And then I also wanted to ask, I remember learning that my true zodiac is Cancer, and I'm just curious to know what exactly like the true zodiac means.
Okay.
All right, you look at her Venus, I'll tell her true zodiac, okay?
All right.
Venus is your girl. Okay. So your true zodiac is the stuff that is hidden from your soul. Like it's the qualities that you necessarily have to unravel, you know, and search for. But once so let me ask you, have you researched the Cancer qualities ever since you learned that you were a Cancer true zodiac?
Yes, I did, and everything just made complete sense. It's just like being emotional and all these things, and I'm like,
nurturing. Okay. Right. Yes. And you want to take care of people, and you're the mother energy, and maybe your friends come to you for advice because you just want to just help everybody. You know, you're the person that like everybody comes to. And yes, there's that sensitivity. There's more of that water. That's why I say your main element. And although I agree with Chakisha about the fire, because your Mars is in Leo, you're an ascendant, your Sag is an ascendant, and your Sun is an ascendant. I understand, like you could totally use the fire, but your element also is water. Because you are a Cancer true zodiac.
Absolutely.
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 You know?
Absolutely.
So you really,
absolutely.
Pisces, having your
absolutely
in Pisces, like you're just intuitive, girl.
Absolutely.
Like you have to trust your intuition.
Absolutely.
You seriously have to trust, because Cancers and Scorpios, like they're like, and Pisces, they're the most intuitive signs of the zodiac. And then you got that Sag, that sage, like overseeing everything.
Yeah.
You got that bigger perspective coming from your sun and from your rising. You're like, you're unstoppable if you really trust your shit. If you really know, I want you to believe in yourself. Please, please believe in yourself. Do not criticize. Do not set these standards of perfection, because you have the makings to be a fucking powerhouse here. Like, you really do. You really do.
Absolutely.
I know I do, and I can feel it sometimes, and I always hold myself back because I get scared.
Yes. No, grab your balls, put your big girl panties on, grab your, whatever. You have to just do it. You have to tap into your Mars in Leo. Your Mars is in Leo. Leo is the lion. He comes in and he takes charge. He's the creator. He's ruled by the sun. Nothing happens without the sun. This is where your action is. This is where your power is. This is where you'll take your action. You got to tap into that Leo energy. You really do. And the Capricorn, because remember, you're a Cancer, a true zodiac, but you're also a Capricorn. You have to look at both ends. It's the feminine and masculine of the signs that make one. So look at that Capricorn energy for that tenacity. They have such resolve. I mean, they're go-getters. Like, they have such a high level of what's the word? How come I guess I'm not meant to say this, but because the words are getting clogged. Like, I can't. They're just very not successful. They can be, but what's the word when you want to achieve something? Like, they want whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think you understand it, sort of. They just have a really strong work ethic. Like, they really want
ambitious.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. They're very ambitious.
Yeah.
And, to the point where they do not stop.
Yes.
So you have to tap into that side of your true zodiac, the Capricorn side. Because your Virgo moon is telling you, no, it's not right. You're not perfect. You can't do it. The Virgos looks at all the imperfections,
Right.
No, you can't. No, it's not right. Yeah, that's the Virgo. So shut the fucking Virgo up and say, shut up, sit down, tell her to sit down in the corner and tap into the Leo.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh, thank you so much. And a quick follow-up question. When you all say like work with the elements like water and fire, what exactly does that look like?
Okay. Well, you know what? Let me get in here, because when we talk about working with the elements and fire, like fire, earth, air, and water, these are talking about like all of those rituals that we do that help in supporting the energy, right? So the fire would be like when we light a candle, and start speaking our intentions or writing petitions down. We're going to use the water element when we take those spiritual baths. Miss Blue put out a beautiful H2O shower. That's water magic right there. The earth element is working out, getting out into nature, working in gardens, taking your shoes off, earthing, hugging a tree in these streets, right? You know what I'm saying? All of that. And then your air energy, it deals with like even your bells, your sounds, wind chimes, incense, scents, essential oils. They work in the realm of air and the water element as well. So these are things like really start exploring like a lot of those things that you do in those rituals, and then start to think about like working with crystals. That's an earth energy element, and it looks like, even though like I say your provider is your fire, and it's definitely that water too, make no mistake about it, but you also got a lot of earth energy. That's a lot of manifestation energy that you have going on in that chart. So you can work with just about any provider. You can still work with air too. Like, air is still available to all of us, even though you don't have as much air energy on your chart. Make no mistake about it, it's still effective.
And also, like, honestly, I was really new to that too, like working with the elements.
Mhm.
But what I noticed is I did it intuitively. I did it without even knowing it. Like, do you ever like take a shower and then realize you're thinking about something or you're getting like messages and shit pops in your head and you're like, where did that come from?
Right.
Like, and it might have been the answer to something you were thinking about, or it happens to me while I'm washing dishes. That's why I won't use my dishwasher. Everybody thinks I'm nuts. I love to wash my dishes. You know why? Because my hands are in the water. And I think that's when like stuff pops in my head. And like
I love that.
Right?
I love
That's
it.
why it doesn't have to be this like where you're like, I'm gonna do a water ritual. No, it doesn't have to be that. Like you just pay attention to the stuff that's happening, the thoughts that are coming in your head while you're showering, while you're washing dishes. And then like Shakesha said, you can light a candle and you stare at the flame. That's really good to open up your pineal gland. Penile, however you say that. And that's like opens up your third eye where your intuition will be expanded and the thoughts will come in clearer and the messages from your higher self will come in clearer.
Absolutely.
So that's what we mean by we say work with the elements.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And so let's talk a little bit about how this Venus retrograde is going to be kind of looking like for you. And so with this energy, it's going to have you looking at a lot of relationships that are up under review. And so this is going to start challenging you on those things that you truly value that surround you, right? This is going to give you an opportunity to evaluate whether or not these relationships are superficial or whether or not these is relationships that are really solid, and knowing the difference between the two. This is going to also give you an opportunity to look at that in your level of relationships on every level. Like if you get with guys because they got money or because they good looking, as opposed to whether it is that you're dealing with a person because of what their value systems is. Like this is going to be an opportunity for you to look into that. This is also going to be a time, because I also want to remind you, you got that Neptune placement in your 12th house, just like I do. And you know, one thing you got to watch out for when Venus retrogrades come about is this energy that we call fuck boy energy, right? So if you are single, there is potential for fuck boy energy to gravitate your way. Now, what that looks like is an old ex that you done cut loose because he was a fuck boy on some level or the other. He may return and tell you he found Jesus or Allah or Buddha or whatever in the fuck it is he found, and he want to be back in your life and make everything shiny and new. And that might be fun for a little bit, but you may be seeing what that really looks like when this retrograde begins to go back direct. Also, there's also potential of you finding relationships that information is missing. You know what I'm saying? You may not know all of the situations. They may have somebody else on the side, or maybe there's some unfinished business that needs to be taken care of. All of these things that you have to bring into consideration when Venus retrograde is here. It being like that for you, particularly because you got this Scorpio placement, and Scorpio deals with secrets, right? So you got to really keep your eye open for that. But here's the trick with that, because see, Scorpio energy is deep, it's gangster, and it's tricky, right? See, because you could mess around and find like this rich dude that's the shit like that can keep up with you in a metaphysical conversation, right? And this be the love of your life in a major connection in a powerful way. Or this could be some fuck boy that ain't trying to do nothing. He just here to play a game and move on. Either way that goes, this is what I've been telling a lot of people, especially those that have these particular placements that I'm noticing where this little tricky energy could come about. It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee. This is because the energy can express itself on many different levels. However, what you want to be aware of is making sure at the very end of the day that you're tapping into this energy that's being activated within you, where you're really loving yourself and showing up for yourself. because right now you're doing your first Saturn return. So there's probably some other lessons that may come along in your life as far as relationships are concerned. But at this point in life, we kind of know what toxic looks like. And so when toxic starts showing up, we kind of pulled on the brakes and fall back, right? This is a time for us to really start paying attention. But see, the trick to this is that you got to walk the fine line and be open and vulnerable too. Because one of the things that Scorpio energy can do sometimes is be extreme on one end or the other, right? And get into this all or nothing type of mentality where either we together, it's a love affair and it's hot and heavy, or it is cold as ice and there is nothing for you, partner. You know what I'm saying? So with this energy right now in meeting folks in relationships, especially any new ones that could approach you at this particular time, it's going to be very important that you pay attention and use those Scorpio energies to turn on them spidey senses and really start trusting your intuition. Your true zodiac is Cancer. You know what I'm saying? You trust that shit. You ain't tripping. You ain't crazy. It ain't the realm of your imagination. You know what? Baby Blue put a post up earlier today. She said the folks that's in delusion is the most powerful manifestors. That's some true shit right there. The realm of delusion makes powerful manifestations. Make no mistake about it. So having this knight in shining armor type of dude is definitely a possibility for you at the end of the day. It's not in the realm of make believe. It is, but it ain't. But we got to be wise enough to be able to pass the test so that we can make that happen. The key of doing that is being present and respecting the right now, the present moment, right? So you get into these relationships, you ain't thinking about what's going to happen 3 months from now. You ain't thinking about if he want to settle down, have wife and kids and all of that shit. Not doing this 40 days and 40 nights, we ain't doing that. What we doing is enjoying the present moment, because this energy of Leo and Venus can be some romantic gangster ass, bring that swagger back energy. So even if that's a short relationship, your candle has been lit. You see?
Wow. That was a lot. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to sit with that.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel so like full with so much information and just like good energy. And I just want to like, I just like want to hug both of you. Like, thank you so much. Oh,
You're very welcome.
You right back.
Hugging you right back.
Right back. Yes, you're very, very welcome.
Lots of love. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Yep. Peace. All right. Is there anybody in the house that want us to take a quick look-see? I know, right? Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Well, this was really beautiful. I like it so much because it's kind of relate with myself as well, because I'm a true zodiac Cancer, and I think that I might have the Venus on Scorpio, but the most important thing is that I'm going through like, kind of my friends, my old friend from high school. He just came up 2 days ago. It was kind of sweet, and the things are kind of, it just took very it just took a very strong and just strong hype. It is kind of strange, and uh these things about bad boy energy now, it look like kind of creepy. And if you can just explain to me like a little bit deeper, because I was thinking about if this relation it is a kind of a scam or something like that, and then you came with the bad boy energy, and I just, oh my god.
And before you start, Shakesha, every time I hear Fuckboy, I always think of that song when I'm dating myself. But players only love you when they're playing. You
Yeah.
know, like that song just chimes in every time I hear a Fuckboy. I'm like, oh yeah, she had it. She nailed that shit when she sang that tune. But then, speak on it.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about with, you said your Venus was also in Scorpio as well. So when I'm talking about the whole realm of Scorpio, right, I'm talking about Scorpio deals with the energy of Scorpio are things that are hidden. This is also the energy of transformation of all kinds. Regeneration, it's about sexuality. It can be about taxes. It can be about death. And it can also be about psychic abilities. With this Venus placement, this Venus retrograde, it coming up. Venus retrograde is affecting all of us, having us review our relationships, how we love, how we show love to ourselves and others, in our platonic relationships as well as our romantic relationships. So this is a time for us all to kind of check in and review where we're at. Our Venus placement gives us an opportunity to kind of examine like the lessons that we came here to learn, right? And so for some of us, for like where Scorpio is concerned, where your position is at in Scorpio, if you say your position is in Scorpio, those are some of the lessons that you're going to be learning about transformation, about dealing with folks that are secretive or any types of secrets and mystery and solving mysteries, uncovering shit. You know, it could also be about marriage and marrying somebody that got a lot of money. There's a lot of potential possibilities. And this is why it's very important that we stay grounded in that, in this particular retrograde in particular, so that we don't find ourselves in situations where we're responding to things that aren't happening. That's why it's super important for us to be present. If things are going well in your relationship and it seems like it's too good to be true, do not tell yourself it's probably not good, because we already know, again, what we focus on, it grows, right? But if we stay present and shit's good right now, and this dude is doing and saying all of the things that's making you happy, enjoy that shit. Because if he fuck up and show that he's a clown later, then he's gonna show that as a clown later. But you enjoy the happy today. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And instead of anticipating on some letdown later, enjoy right now. Because see, that whole scenario could change. He could have been the fuck boy who has decided, I found the love of my life. Fuck these games I'm playing. Let me get my shit together and do this the right way. See, so we never know how this shit turns out at the end of the day. But even if you got yourself a clown ass fuck boy at the end of the day, you enjoyed yourself a good experience. You can move on with a lesson learned. And when you find somebody that's really suitable for you, that truly appreciates you and everything, you can sit back and laugh about how you didn't waste time on that foolishness and that fuckery, because you caught the lesson from that particular situation.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And remember too, the more you raise your vibration with all the tools that you learned in self-investment, the more you're going to attract, like the match of your vibration. No.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, you might be attracted and like be secretive or thoughtful or whatever it is. Situation, that's because there's you learn.
Right.
Don't judge yourself, like we were saying earlier, if you caught that.
Right.
Don't be so just, you know, appreciate where you're at.
Right.
Because that's where you are in your ascension.
Absolutely.
It's lessons that you still learn, that still need to be revealed to you.
Right.
And once you like can have to change your energy of gratitude, like, oh, I'm grateful that this person came into my life to show me these things, even though it might have been painful and tumultuous. You know that you have to still learn it and release it and raise your vibration to attract higher situations. So just also keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, you know, this another thing is staying in my head is people show you who they are from the beginning. And yes, they can change, but if they keep showing you that same energy, don't ignore that. Don't say, oh, we'll change, if it keeps happening over and over and over again. And I'm guilty of that. So that's why I speak on,
Absolutely.
We'll change. Once they grow up, or once whatever, no. Like, if they keep showing you that, believe it. Believe it and learn, be grateful for the lesson, and then set your boundaries, be discerning and get the fuck out. And feel some more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we're at special time. We were talking here with my mom and my sister, and I just said, like, kind of, I'm really fed up with guys, all these fuckboy guys, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm down, and so I closed the chapter.
There you go.
Literally, a few hours later, this one came up. Well, we used to be really good friends, but he just did his stuff with his life. His life kind of was on the edge all the time, and I was in my path, so we didn't see each other for years. But I just didn't understand this.
Yeah. Listen,
so,
where's your moon at? Where's your moon placement?
Well, in Scorpio.
Woo, yeah. So I see where your apprehension is at. Okay, yeah. I see where your apprehension is at. Right. Scorpio moons definitely worry about shit like that. Whether or not this is going to work at the end of the day. But I really do want to encourage you, because you definitely have that Scorpio moon. So, you getting some of this fixed energy vibration that's going on with this retrograde, and it's setting and it's showing itself up the way that it is, right? I really want to encourage you to allow yourself to be vulnerable, not blind, but vulnerable and open.
Yeah, but I'm struggling with that.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of fear. It feels so good
to
talk to him, and we just find each other to have just synchronicity.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of synchronicity. And it is nice, but
Yeah.
And
what if you fucked around, found the love of your life? What if this Venus retrograde brought you somebody back from the past that was a friend, and you reevaluated that friendship, and it turned into something else, and you transformed that relationship into something else during that 40 days and 40 nights Venus retrograde? What if that happened?
And also, I have a little edge because I did her chart. So Shakesha, she also has trauma from her parents' relationship.
Okay.
And Laura Lee, I think that's a lot of where the fear comes in as well, because you weren't given a healthy situation of how men and women should be, and how you could trust a man because he left and cheated, and so that's why I think we talked about this too here, and I talked with you. We attract our early relationships sometimes. Females attract males in our lives to heal the stuff about our fathers and the way they were with our mother. And once you can release that and cut the cords like we talked about and forgive him and just say he did the best he could in his journey, then you won't bring that fear with you into future relationships. Don't ignore the signs, because you're intuitive. We know that. You are so much intuitive. Highly. Yeah. Her mother, her grandmother, her uncle, her aunt, her sister, they all have it. They all have it. Okay. So, her mother is from Cuba. She was a refugee. She went to the Netherlands. Yeah. So my point is, don't ignore your intuition, but at the same time, don't allow that fear from childhood to play itself out, and you're going to manifest it, in future relationships.
You're just confirmation what it's in me. I have a fight in me regarding that. Yeah. And Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. But that's one of the blind spots too with Scorpios, is indecision, is one of the blind spot energies with Scorpios is is indecision and not being able to be vulnerable, and struggling with that. But one of those things that you can do is really, begin not, and I know it sounds like really cliche, but really trust in you because you're so highly intuitive and you got all of these, that's Scorpio moon right there for you. You know what I'm saying? That puts you in a whole different class right there, that where you can trust what you feeling, and sometimes we get into these things where we start seeing things that trigger us from the past, and it starts putting us into an emotional response. But we know that when it's coming from the divine, if it's most high divine energy, when it's supposed to be energy that's here to support us, it's not it's not going to bring us a fear-based thought. It's always gonna have us in a space of love. And I like the way, was that, I forgot who I was listening to that talked about how you take that energy and you shift the focus of it. Well, how was that? I'm trying to remember how that went. But anyway, that's what we have to do. We have to really make sure that we're in the higher vibration of this, so that we can, I just lost my train of thought. Man, I'm going somewhere. All right, never mind. I dropped my thought that quick. My bad.
But remember too,
I'm sorry.
her true zodiac is Cancer. So she has that intuition. She just has to trust herself.
Yeah.
She has to, and I told you that, Miss Blue told her that. Like, she already knows the answer.
Yeah.
So she just don't trust herself. She's
Yeah.
giving her power away. This is what I told your sister, Laura Lee. I spoke to your sister this week. I don't know. I know. Yeah. We had a beautiful conversation. Beautiful. But you gotta take your power back because you're giving your power away. You're asking people for the answers that you already know.
Right.
And Miss Blue, I told you that in class so many times. Laura Lee, I'm not gonna answer. You know, Laura Lee. You know. You already know. Like, you can't, you have to start trusting yourself. This is a big thing, and you will, because you're learning, you're growing, you're learning, you're evolving. And like I said earlier, just be easy on yourself, be gentle, trust where you are, and know that you will learn the lessons, you will drop them off, and you will ascend. And the right situations, or even the situation you're in, might evolve into something else if he's on the same energetic vibration, if he's there. So
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's where I was going. My bad. So what I was trying to say is that when we stay, and like I said, I hate that cliche shit because the love and light people really piss me off sometimes, right? But they are definitely correct when they talk about making sure we stay in these higher vibrations, because being in a state where you start, I don't know if you ever heard of this technique called Ho'oponopono, right? Where okay, so when you cleansing that energy and everything, that really does help to clear up that negativity and the thought process. And when you sitting around spinning thoughts that's not serving you and everything, like repeating that about 7 times helps to get rid of that shit and give you a minute to kind of reset so that you can gain clarity, so that we don't get into this space where we overthinking shit and overanalyzing and all of this other shit, or creating scenarios, based on our fears and not on our hopes and our most highest expectations, you see.
Yep, I forgot about that one. Thank you, sis. Another spiritual exfoliation tool. Ho'oponopono. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful, ancient technique that is proven to work. Just do it. Just do it. And
thank you.
For anybody that don't know it, it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you repeat that just like that. All right. So All right, all right, all right.
Thank
So
you, thank you.
you're very welcome, very welcome. All right, y'all. Hey, I want to say peace. Sheila, Brother Dante, Priestess Keisha in the house, Melanie and Nicole. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? If anybody is interested, next week, tomorrow's my anniversary. So we go away, y'all. And you know what I'm saying? Really try to benefit off of this Venus retrograde energy. However, I'm not going to do a cipher next week unless Doreen, because she definitely can do that because I opened it up. Otherwise, we pick up next week when I come back. So it's whatever's clever. But if you want to come in and read some charts, definitely, you know what I'm saying? That's available. But in the meantime, I am going to be out next week. And so, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Unless there's somebody that wants us to take a look at something real quick, I'm going to close us out and we keep it moving. Yes, no, maybe so. No? Okay, word. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out, bringing that energy and support. Always, always appreciate it out here. I love you guys. Hey, listen, if you guys, even with anything, definitely, if you want to come up and get in on some of these readings, you see shit in charts, you got a deck of cards, you want to bring in a little something, the spirit is giving